Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop in the next episode in the South Bend 10K restoration. It's the weekend and it's not the normal day that Tim and I get together working on the machine, so I'm going to forge ahead a little bit and make some progress in his absence. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take the bed off of the cabinet and then get the cabinet and lay it down on its back, open up the door and go in and pull out the whole underdrive assembly. It'll be way easier to film it. And it'll be way easier on my knees, and you know, nobody likes to fight gravity. So it's 20 degrees outside and about 70 degrees in the shop. So let's get started. Now the first thing we need to do is take the bed off of the feet. The feet are attached to the cabinet, and obviously the bed attached to the feet. So we have a couple of 9/16 bolts here. So we're just going to break those free. And you need a socket and you need a wrench because you can't get a socket into here. All right, we got that set out. Let me just remove add the lead screw stored here. All right. Now what I think is the case here is that over here, this foot is bolted up into the bed. So let's take it off over here. This one just came right out. I got to take the drawer out. So let me slide this over here. Now if you'll notice, there's little tabs on the inside of the drawer. And they basically stick like this, so when the draw comes, it hits those tabs. So you got to line the tabs up with the hole and press them in. And they kind of just like bend in. I don't really like that, but lo and behold, your drawer comes out. Yikes, look at that. Full of oil. Okay. Now I'm assuming that this will all move. And it does. Okay. What we need to do now is flip this on its back. Okay. I'm in very, very high appreciation of this thing's size right now. So these are 1/2-inch bolts, and I don't have an extension, so this is a little tricky for me because of the angle. There we go. All right, here's the tailstock leveling leg. No, it's not a leveling leg. It's just a leg. But what it does have, if you can see in here, it has that anti-twist mechanism where it gives you the ability to kind of take out some of the twist. And we'll take this apart on the bench. Just put these in here for now. All right. Now I'm just inspecting it. I'm just looking back here. I'm looking for wear. Whatever. Just kind of giving it a bit of a visual inspection. It is very dirty. But again, I'm thankful it's so small because I could pick up a lathe bed with my own two hands. That's always a good thing. Using my sharpened dart, which always comes in very handy as a nice little pick. I can get in there and get these screws that hold the rack gear on. All right, that one's loose. Again, this is one of these screws where you really want to make sure that you find the screwdriver that fits the screw profile perfectly, because you don't want to booger these up. Oh, man. Oh. Okay. Grunting over here. I think it's coming down because the screws aren't coming up. Oh, we got one more. Would you look at that? Just look at it. Okay. That's so easy. Okay, time to clean our hands. I can't stand having dirty hands working on a screwdriver. Just a pet peeve of mine. All right, so here's our rack removed. Now the next thing is there's a guard back here. It's like a little chip guard, and we'll use the dart again to clean out the paint, because there is a lot of paint in here. Okay. These are some beefy screws for just a little tiny guard like this. All right, so there's our guard. Now with that, I think we're done. Let me just give this a final inspection. I don't think there's anything left on here that needs to be disassembled. You gotta look too, because grit and grime is a good camouflager for screws. All right, I believe this is good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna carry this over here on the bench, and then we'll get ready and we'll set up to lay this cabinet down and start taking down the underdrive. All right, now that we got everything basically disassembled and taken off the cabinet here, this is riddled with chips and stuff. I want to clean it up a little bit before we lay it down. Nice and clean now. Next thing to do is going to be to take off this last little foot here. I got to open the door, got to get under there because there's bolts, obviously, nuts and bolts. And in fact, I think I'm going to leave this on here because I'm looking through this leg, and you could see definitely there's a bolt that goes through the underdrive here. I guess they do that to make it more rigid. So this thing is bolted basically to these feet. Yeah, the other one, I think the other one goes onto there too. Yeah, so it's bolting basically in essence to this, and the top of this is like a washer, a space in between it. Yeah, that makes sense, so the thing doesn't wobble, because this is kind of flimsy right here. So, all right, we're ready to take the other two drawers out first, and then we're gonna lay it down on its back. So, all right, we got the underdrive out, and just like I said, I took out the 3 bolts, and it basically, I slid the tension release shaft out of the hole, and it slid right down onto that carpet. I had the carpet tucked in a little bit further so it wouldn't scratch the floor or come down with a crash, and it didn't. So now I'm going to grab it and rearrange the shop here, put this onto a bench, and we'll start disassembling it.